What's up, you guys? I'm Rachel DeMita, and welcome to the Courtside Club. Unfortunately, today we have got to talk about the Angel Reese Chicago Sky situation because it seems to be getting uglier by the day. Now, if you guys didn't see my last video that I made on this whole thing, definitely check that one out first because I kind of lay out all the drama, why there is drama between her and the organization, the interview that she did, and there's a bunch of just quotes and things in that video, so check that one out. But we are going to pick up right where we left off because just last night was the game that Angel Reese was suspended for the first half of the game. Now, I laugh because when I first saw that news, I have never seen in professional sports ever, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I've never seen an instance where a player is suspended for only half of the game and only specifically the first half of the game. So this was the statement from the Chicago Sky. It said, "The Chicago Sky values the safety, respect, and well-being of every player. We are committed to accountability so our players can stay focused on playing basketball. Because of statements detrimental to the team made by Angel Reese during league-mandated media, she will not play in the first half of the game on September 7th against the Las Vegas Aces. This matter has been handled and resolved internally, and we are moving forward as a team." There's so many things wrong with just this statement, and I feel like one of the things that the WNBA sucks at the most is statements. You guys know exactly what I'm saying. They need new writers. Ending this statement saying this matter has been handled and resolved internally, it hasn't been handled and it hasn't been resolved yet because you're sitting your franchise player for the first half of the game. This felt very juvenile to me. I didn't understand it. So last night's game rolls around and Angel Reese doesn't actually even end up doing warm-ups. She has her little like back warmer brace thing around her warm-up gear. She didn't even have her hair tied up. She was just kind of chilling and she didn't play in the first half. And then after the first half, we get this announcement. So you guys, this is actually in the middle of the game. She has never entered the game yet. We get this announcement. It says, "After serving a suspension during the first half of tonight's game versus the Las Vegas Aces, Angel Reese has been ruled out for the second half due to a back injury for the team." I'm laughing because it's just all so comical. She knew that she was not going to play the second half of the game. Whether the team wanted her to or not, she wasn't going to play. Am I saying that she's faking a back injury? Not necessarily. Does it seem kind of random that a back injury just kind of pops up for the second half of the game? Yeah. I think Angel Reese just didn't want to play. She was mad about the suspension for the first half, which, to be fair, if I was a player, I would be mad at it too. It's like either suspend me for the whole game, fine me, or don't. Half of a game is something that you do in a YMCA league, not a professional WNBA basketball league, especially to a starter. It's weird. Okay, it's very weird. It's not normally done in professional basketball. Now, there were also some clips going around of Angel Reese on the bench and just her interactions with her teammate. I'll tell you what, she didn't look happy the entire game. She really didn't look happy. You can see the look on her face. Normally, she's a lot more animated. She's up cheering, talking to her teammates. Ariel Atkins sits next to her. It doesn't look like they say a word to one another. And there were so many clips like this just circulating online. Her attitude, her demeanor was definitely different on the bench than it's been for this entire season. The ironic part about all of this is that Angel Reese was also suspended for the game against the Indiana Fever because she racked up her 8th technical foul, and once you get 8 techs in the WNBA, you're suspended for a game. So she didn't travel to Indiana, she didn't play against the Indiana Fever, and so a part of me wondered, maybe they just wanted Angel on the bench. Maybe the organization, the coach, everyone knew that she wasn't going to be playing for the entirety of the game. For whatever reason, they could make up whatever they want as to why she wouldn't play, but they just wanted her to be sitting on the bench. They didn't want her at home doing whatever, like totally disassociated from the team. Maybe the punishment enough was just to put her on the bench and kind of make her sit through a game that she clearly didn't want to be at. Now, the Chicago Sky have 2 more games this season. I highly doubt we will see Angel play in either one of those games. And it's honestly a shame because she was having a great season this year. She was having a better season than she did last year. It looked like she was improving in a lot of ways. There was a stretch of games that she was doing really well. She has been in and out with this back injury, but overall, Angel Reese has had a much more successful season individually this season than she did last. Now, the internet seems to be a little bit split on all of this. There's a section of the internet that is saying, "Free Angel, this organization sucks, get her out of there. Everything she said in that article was right. She just needs to get out of there." Everyone everyone sucks. Her teammates don't even have her back. And they all are saying, like, get Angel out of there. And then there's another segment of the internet that's saying every team that Angel goes to, there's some sort of locker room thing that happened. There's some sort of issue that goes down between Angel and her teammates and her coach, and they're bringing up stuff from college where she was suspended at LSU. They're just bringing up other things. So the internet is very divided on this, and I think that two things can be true. I think, one, what Angel said in that interview was things, there might have been some truth into the things that she was saying. However, you can't say those things out loud. You especially can't say those things out loud to the media during season. The things that she said definitely made it seem like she was putting her teammates down and acting like she was better than her teammates and like she needed better players. And the only one she really protected in that interview was Camila Cardoso. And so I think she was wrong in that. How much grace her team gives her after that is totally up to them. I wouldn't expect her teammates to necessarily have her back if they felt like they were thrown under the bus. A player like Ariel Atkins had been one who has defended Angel Reese all season. And then if you read between the lines on some of the things that Angel said, I mean, Ariel Atkins has a right to feel a type of way about the things that she said. Now, there's also some truth to the fact that the Chicago Sky organization seems like a mess. It seems very messy there. It doesn't seem like they can get it together from front office down. There's a lot going on. But Angel Reese is also only a second-year player in the WNBA. We've seen stuff like this happen in the NBA, like Jimmy Butler has basically sat out for most of a season because he didn't want to be in Miami anymore, but Jimmy Butler did this later on in his career when he had a lot of accolades and a lot of wins under his belt to be able to do this. James Harden has also been one who's been defiant when he doesn't want to play for certain teams. And neither of these guys get put under the greatest spotlight, but the difference is like these players did it a little bit later on in their career, not their second year in the league. This is Angel Reese's second year in the league, and this is the second year in a row that the team hasn't made playoffs. They haven't been a winning team. And I will say during the offseason, the Chicago Sky, they made a lot of moves. They brought in different players. And so to say that they didn't do anything, I don't think is fair to them also. They brought in a new coach. I know Angel was a huge fan of Teresa Witherspoon. Like she didn't want her to go, but I would probably say that she has played her last game as a Chicago Sky member. Now, Rachel Bannum was asked about this and she said, I think I just don't really care. I'm so over all of this crap. If I was younger, it would have affected me, but I'm grown and I just don't care. So she just kind of dismissed it. Courtney Vandersloot was asked about it as well. And Courtney Vandersloot essentially said, contrary to what other people might think or what other people might have said, my age doesn't have any indication of if I will be coming back. I will be coming back. But overall, definitely a messy situation going on in Chicago. And it just kind of caps off the year from hell that the WNBA is having and that they're having with two of their biggest stars, with Caitlin kind of being out the whole season, Angel having a great season and then going down with injury and then having all of these problems with the organization. There's unfortunately been a lot of lowlights this season. But one more thing, you guys, before I let you go, I do want to talk about this clip that was picking up some steam online. And that was the clip from the Sue Bird podcast where they were talking about Paige and maybe why she doesn't have as much attention or fans as Caitlin Clark or hype as Caitlin Clark. And I'm just going to react to this really quick. A lot of you have been asking me to talk about it.
But do you think Paige should be more popular? What do you think is contributing
I think Paige is really
to this?
popular.
I think she's really popular too, but like in a different
No, I think it's
kind of
specific.
way.
I think what I would say that I'm noticing that's lacking for not just Paige, honestly, everyone in the WNBA, including Caitlin. I know she's not playing right now. It's like, where is the more? So we all know there's like the media coverage pie that we only had 4% at one point. Now it's up to 15, 16%, which is great. And now it's like, we're all wanting more. We're wanting to be 20%, 25%. And I think at times when people say Paige should have more, they think that means taking away from Caitlin. And it doesn't. Caitlin deserves everything she gets, and Paige deserves more, and Angel Reese deserves more, and Asia, and Fee, and.
Yeah.
I think specific to Paige, you might argue her popularity and the people that are fans of her has been underrated, which shocks me. And I think people forgot how popular and how engaging Paige is and how people are drawn to her. She should be followed and covered in a way that is similar to what we saw with Caitlin, because that's how popular she is.
Yeah.
It's not to compare them, and it's not to diminish Caitlin. That's not what it's about.
Right.
It's just about talking about Paige. I think it was undervalued, underrated.
My initial reaction to this is again, the bar is Caitlyn. Every time you're talking about another player or their popularity or their fans or their anything, the bar is Caitlyn. So if the bar is Caitlyn, then that's the person who's clearly the most popular across the board. She talks about her needing more or her being covered like Caitlyn. I would argue that Paige has been covered like Caitlyn this season. And Paige is a very popular player, but the difference is that Caitlyn brought in the casual fans. We've talked about this a million times. There's something very special and very entertaining and very unique about Caitlyn's game. And everybody wants to bring in everything else besides the basketball. It's the basketball first. The basketball is the main reason that Caitlyn became as popular as she is now. It's the basketball first. As much as everybody wants to make excuses that it's all of these other things, it's because of where she came from, what she looks like, it's the basketball first. It's very exciting to see people step 2 feet over half court, launch it, and make it. Those are the kind of things that Caitlyn was doing in college. Caitlyn also went to Iowa. She took Iowa to back-to-back national championships, and Paige played at UConn. Everybody knows that there's going to be great players at UConn. It's not as exciting as a whole for UConn to win a national championship when they've done it so many times. UConn's always going to have a strong fan base. They're always going to have great players coming out of UConn. Some of the best WNBA players ever have come from UConn. It's a more exciting story when a team from Iowa who hadn't been to the Elite Eight, Final Four, national championship, all of these things, they get taken there, and they get taken there because of one person who's putting up 40 and who's shooting from 2 feet in front of half court. You can't push things. What I'm trying to say is the fans create the hype. The fans create the hype. The fans, if you can cover something as much as you possibly want, and I know from the views on my TikToks and different things, I talk about a ton of different players. Everybody's like, why you always talk about Caitlyn? Well, you probably saw the video where I was talking about Caitlyn because that one has 10 times the amount of views, probably 15 times the amount of views than the one where I was talking about another player. I can't force you guys to watch what you don't want to watch. I think Paige has gotten a lot of coverage. I think a lot of the mainstream media, I've called it out in other videos, the mainstream media talks a lot about, oh, they need more coverage, they need more coverage. You're covering Paige by comparing her to Caitlyn. So like, you're covering Paige at the same time as you're essentially covering Caitlyn, and you're creating a conversation around the bar that is Caitlyn. Does that make sense, you guys? And it's like, I get it. This clip for them had a lot of engagement, more engagement than a lot of their other clips. And if they would have only been talking about Paige just by herself, it wouldn't have gotten the kind of engagement that it did. But Caitlyn's the bar, and she's been the bar, and she's been the bar because of basketball first. And I'm just tired. I'm tired of the, well, why? Why is she getting more coverage? People just talk about her more, whether she's playing, whether she's not playing. Like, people just talk about her a lot, and people want to see her play. And also, it doesn't take anything away from Paige. Paige has a great game. Paige is a great basketball player. Paige will get Rookie of the Year this year, and she deserves it. Objectively, she's not as exciting to watch as Caitlyn. For the majority. Some people might think she's way more exciting to watch because she does all these shifty moves. She has kind of like a Kyrie type of handle. Some people like a mid-range game. So objectively, there's a portion of fans who think Paige is more exciting, but the majority would prefer to watch Caitlyn, and we see that just from the numbers. Like, you guys, I'm just talking factually here. Take your feelings out for 1 second. Just like put them to the side. The numbers are the numbers. More people want to watch Caitlyn. More people engage with Caitlyn content. She has captivated a very large audience, and it has nothing to do with just her as a person. It has to do with the basketball. That's my 2 cents. Not that important. We move along. With that, you guys, the Fever have made the playoffs, and it looks like they are going to be the 7 seed, and they will likely be going up against either the Aces or the Atlanta Dream. We will be doing some live watch parties for playoffs, so make sure that you guys stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Click that little subscribe button because we upload new videos every single week, and click that little bell notification because that is the only way that you will know when I'm uploading or if I'm going live. But with all of that, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ooh, Anna.